Against Gervonta Davis? I don't know. I mean, it would be very interesting, very compelling, but I wouldn't be worried about Gervonta Davis getting knocked out. But you fought basketball players, you fought strikers in the UFC, you fought a 50-year-old, Mike Tyson. Yeah, the money was there, but it wasn't the toughest matches in the world. Why'd you pick those fights? Because you could make money without it being much of a risk.
So here we are, 4 weeks out from Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. And Stephen A. Smith just showed up like the chaos god of sports commentary. My man didn't even ease in. He came swinging with that trademark ESPN thunder. First words out his mouth? Jake Paul, respect the grind, but don't confuse courage with experience. Translation.
30-0, 28 knockouts. Clearly one of the top 5 fighters on the planet, if not number 1 in a lot of people's eyes. That's what we say about Tank Davis. How do you feel about where you are at right now in your career, pound for pound?
I mean, I can't really say. I just gotta, I'm the type of guy that, I really don't really pay attention to that because I'm still in the mix. So I just gotta keep my head grounded, stay grounded and just. My whole goal was always to go out there and put on a great performance.
Stephen A. just gave Jake his flowers and then buried them in the same sentence. Then he doubled down, saying, Gervonta Davis hits like a meteor. This ain't sparring, this is life-changing. Bro man turned a boxing preview into a doomsday prophecy.
He can box, he's not given enough credit for it, okay? He closes, he finishes. Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you, okay? The time has arrived for us to stand down and to start giving Gervonta Davis the love and respect that he deserves. This brother is a...
Steven, I didn't stop there, oh no. He went full professor mode. Size only buys you time. Once Tank finds you, the lights go out. And he said it with that dramatic pause like he's narrating a movie trailer.
At this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. And that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please.
Then came the tactical roast. Jake moves awkwardly for a natural fighter. Tank's a born assassin, fast, patient, deadly. One mistake and it's over. That's not commentary, that's a eulogy with analysis. And finally, he hit the mic drop of all mic drops. If Jake wins, he's global.
I'm the most scared going into a fight that I've actually ever been because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is. It's actually gonna be my toughest test.
If he loses, it exposes the limits of influencer boxing. Translation. This fight's either his coronation or his cancellation. But then, because boxing never sleeps, Jake Paul slid into TMZ Sports like a man equal parts confident and quietly terrified.
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives, but we're really focusing on speed and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose.
You could hear it in his voice. Yeah, I'm scared, but I'm still coming for Tank. That's not fear, that's adrenaline with Wi-Fi. And give Jake credit, he's not faking the work. He's stacking sparring partners like it's a Marvel crossover. Shakur Stevenson, Raymond Ford, Montana. Love Jake's out here forming the Avengers of damage control. But here's the twist. Tank Davis isn't some YouTube villain. He's that final boss that doesn't come with a respawn button. This dude doesn't just test your chin. He checks your soul warranty.
Sport to be able to compete at this level and to be able to hang in there with these guys. But I do believe that I have the power and the offense to be able to walk Tank into a knockout like I've done with other opponents and set them up for it. And so I am fully confident in my ability, and I think it would be one of the craziest upsets in a long time.
Jake's got the size, the confidence, the team, but Tank's got that predator patience. He's the kind of fighter who lets you think you're safe just so he can remind you that you're not. So, Jake Paul's latest revelation? He's losing bulk to gain quickness. That's right, less biceps, more biomechanics. My guy's turning from Hulk Paul into Formula One Jake, saying, "This is my toughest test. It keeps me up at night," and you can hear the honesty in that. He's not talking like an influencer chasing clicks anymore.
Years, and Tank has a big fight coming up with Jake Paul. Jake Paul is like a heavyweight. Tank's a lightweight. How does he adjust to that weight? How do you see the fight playing out?
I can't give up too much, but
Yeah.
we're gonna cross that bridge when we get to it.
Definitely. So you're not worried about his power or his height or anything like that?
Not at all. It's three ways you can skin a cat. You know what I mean?
He's talking like a man who's realized he just signed up to fight Gervonta freaking Davis, a guy whose fists come with their own weather forecast. This isn't just another crossover bout, it's Jake looking danger dead in the eye and saying, "Let's dance." And if by some miracle he pulls this off, forget breaking the internet, he's deleting it. But right when Jake leaves TMZ talking about sparring with Shakur, cutting muscle, and Netflix money moves, Coach Kenny Ellis glides in calm as a preacher, sharp as a scalpel. Ellis hits you with that soft-spoken menace, not at all worried about Jake's height or power. And then, when asked for a knockout prediction, no comment. Bruh, that's not uncertainty. That's confidence disguised as chill. Ellis doesn't do trash talk, he does quiet execution. You can tell he's seen the game plan, tested the traps, and probably labeled every knockout scenario with sticky notes. Jake wants this to be about physics mass, momentum, muscle. Tank's camp? They're out here playing chess, not CrossFit. And when Ellis said, "We'll cross that bridge when we get there," I swear it sounded like, we already built the bridge and wired it to explode. This fight isn't just about punches, it's about patience, precision, and the moment when overconfidence meets uppercut. But before the calm could settle, Daniel Cormier crashed through the wall like the Kool-Aid man of combat sports. DC came in furious, calling Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis an embarrassment to boxing. And when DC says embarrassment, it sounds like the sport itself owes him an apology. He wasn't ranting for clicks, he was offended. Like a professor watching a TikTok dance in a Harvard lecture. "How is this even allowed?" he barked. And honestly, he's not wrong. Tank's out here not even sure of the fight weight that's like showing up to your own wedding and asking who's getting married. Meanwhile, Jake's rewriting boxing's rulebook one headline at a time. A 195-pound YouTuber fighting a 135-pound world champion? That's not a matchup, that's a Marvel crossover nobody ordered. And DC's saying what everyone's thinking. Boxing's gone rogue. The commission's sitting in the back like, hey, let's just see what happens. But here's the wild twist, that chaos, it's exactly why we're hooked. It's so wrong, it's right. So insane, it's genius. Because that's boxing in 2025, part sport, part circus, all adrenaline. And Cormier, he's the voice of reason screaming into the chaos, begging boxing to stop turning into a social media experiment with gloves on. Right after DC dropped his heavyweight-sized rant, Abel Sanchez slid in cool as ice calm before the storm vibes, except this storm brought lightning with logic. Abel basically said, yeah, Jake and Tank might fight, but if it's an exhibition, it's a circus. And honestly, the man's not lying. We've hit that point where half the boxing crowd wants blood, and the other half wants Netflix deals and TikTok highlight reels. It's 2025 fighters chasing followers harder than belts. Meanwhile, Abel's literally rebuilding his gym with no power, yet still somehow dropping more common sense than the entire internet combined. He wasn't ranting, he was educating, talking about legacy, strategy, respect for the sport. That's rare energy these days. You can feel his frustration, the kind that comes from watching boxing trade credibility for clout. But here's where Abel flips it, man still gives Tank his flowers. Says the dude's instincts? Different breed. He called Tank a street-smart predator who learned timing from chaos, not coaching. Is Jake Paul's hype enough to survive Tank's instincts? Or is this the fight that finally proves influencer boxing has an expiration date? Drop your takes in the comments, argue, roast, debate. I want all of it, that make this sport beautifully unhinged. See you in the next one, and remember, this isn't just boxing, this is 2025. Boxing, adrenaline-fueled, logic-defying, and absolutely savage. So now it's your turn. Who's taking this? Is Jake Paul's hype enough to survive Tank's instincts? Or is this the fight that finally proves influencer boxing has an expiration date? Drop your takes in the comments, argue, roast, debate. I want all of it. We're breaking down the drama, the chaos, and the punches that make this sport beautifully unhinged. See you in the next one, and remember, this isn't just boxing. This is 2025 boxing, adrenaline-fueled, logic-defying, and absolutely savage.